Every year carries its own energetic signature. Some years are about building, others are about release. Some ask you to rise and act, others to pause and reflect. In this series, we explore the 9-year numerology cycle, moving year by year, not just through numbers, but through tarot. For each personal year, I align its numerological energy with the corresponding tarot archetypes, showing how these energies may unfold in your career, relationships, finances, and health. You'll hear how they manifest upright when you're in flow, and reversed when the energy is off balance or misdirected. This isn't just information, it's guidance, a way to work with the year's lessons, rather than being blindsided by them. We'll begin where we are now, the universal 9-year of 2025. This is a collective closing, a global year of endings, surrender, and emotional release. It's the final chapter of a long cycle, and in 2026, we step into a universal 1 year, the beginning of a new 9-year arc, full of initiation, individuality, and fresh potential. Even if these aren't your personal years, you will feel them. The universal year sets the tone for everyone, like the weather we're all walking through. But your personal year shows you how that weather hits you, what themes will rise in your own life. To find the universal year, add together all the digits of the calendar year. For example, for the year 2025, you would add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, which equals 9. That makes 2025 a universal 9-year. For the year 2026, you would add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, which equals 10. Then reduce that to a single digit by adding 1 plus 0, which gives you 1. So 2026 is a universal 1 year. To calculate your personal year, take the day and month of your birth and add them to the digits of the current year. For example, if your birthday is the 5th of March, you'd start with 3 for March, plus 5 for the day. That gives you 8. Then take the digits of the year 2025. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, which equals 9. Now add that 9 to your previous total of 8, giving you 17. Finally, reduce that by adding 1 plus 7, which equals 8. That means 2025 would be a personal 8-year for you. Each personal year brings a new chapter with its own focus, its own rhythm, and its own set of tarot archetypes to work with. So whether you're entering a personal 2-year of deep connection or a 5-year of change and freedom, this series will help you meet it with awareness, purpose, and grounded clarity. Because when you understand the energetic terrain you're walking through, you stop resisting it, and you start aligning with it. Let's begin. 2026 is a 1 year in numerology, the spark of a new 9-year cycle. Imagine the magician standing at his table, every tool laid out, energy surging through his fingertips. This is the year of new beginnings, independence, and decisive action. But to understand what's ahead, we must acknowledge where we are now, the final stretch of the 9-year. 2025, the 9th year, has been a year of letting go. Endings, completions, closures, like the Hermit and the Death card upright. This energy brings reflection and transformation. You may have walked away from roles, habits, or relationships that no longer reflect your truth. Reverse, that same energy can manifest as clinging to what's already expired. The Death card reversed resists change. The Hermit reversed isolates without clarity. If you felt stuck, nostalgic, or heavy, it's because something was calling to be released. That's the nature of a 9-year. It clears the soil so something new can grow. And that something new arrives in 2026. The 1 year is direct and bold, like the Fool, the Magician, and the Ace of Wands. Upright, these cards signal drive, fresh starts, and boundless potential. You may feel a sudden desire to act, speak up, move, or reinvent yourself. In career, this could mean launching a business, shifting direction, or claiming leadership. It's a year to take initiative, promotions, new roles, or starting from scratch. But reverse, the Magician warns of imposter syndrome or false starts. Don't bluff your way through. Align action with authenticity. In relationships, a 1 year puts the spotlight on self. Upright, this energy supports honest conversations, new beginnings in love, or stronger self-worth. But it can also bring breakups or detachment if the connection is rooted in old patterns. Reversed, the Fool runs from intimacy or acts impulsively. Ask, are you beginning something meaningful or just escaping? Finances under a 1 year are influenced by risk and reward. Upright, it's a great time to invest in your future. A course, a business, a smart opportunity, but beware of overconfidence. The Ace of Pentacles reversed warns against poor planning or chasing fast wins. Budget wisely. Back your ideas with strategy. And in health, the 1 year brings vitality, like a fire being lit. You might feel motivated to move, shift your routine, or reset your habits. Upright, this is the sun energy. Vibrant, energized, ready to thrive. But reverse, the same flame can burn out quickly. Watch for burnout, impatience, or neglecting rest. Sustainable energy matters more than speed. So as 2025 closes, use this final phase of the 9 year to close with grace. Make peace with what's past. Forgive, declutter your heart and your calendar. What you bring into 2026 should be light, clear, and aligned. Because the 1 year doesn't just offer opportunity, it demands self-leadership. So ask yourself, what do I truly want to begin? And when the year turns, step into it fully, wand in hand, voice clear, ready to lead your life with purpose. A personal 1 year feels like stepping into the magician's card world, energized, assertive, full of vision and drive. You likely felt a burst of momentum, a push to begin something entirely new. In many ways, 2025, or whenever your personal 1 year fell, was about you, your identity, your independence, your willpower. The upright 1 year is all ace energy. Ideas flowing, confidence rising, doors cracking open. Maybe you launched a business, claimed your voice, moved house, or simply started thinking differently about your life. But if it was reversed, the 1 year may have been scattered, like the Fool card taking risks without direction, or the Magician reversed doubting their power. You might have had false starts or wrestled with self-trust. That's part of the process too. The 1 year doesn't promise perfection. It gives you a spark. What you do with it is the lesson. Now comes the 2 year, and everything softens. This is the moment the flame dims, and the candlelight begins to flicker inward. Like the High Priestess card, the 2 year is quiet, intuitive, and relational. It's not about pushing. It's about listening. To yourself, to others, to the spaces between the noise. In career, this can feel like a slowdown. If the first year was about initiating, the second year is about refining. Negotiations, partnerships, collaborations become key. Upright, it supports steady progress through connection, but reversed, it may bring indecision or self-doubt. You may question everything you began last year. That's natural. You're now learning to trust the process, not just the pace. In relationships, this is the heart of the 2 years' work. It brings themes of emotional sensitivity, understanding, and intimacy. Upright, it's like the Two of Cups card. Genuine connection, deeper bonds, meaningful partnerships. But reverse, this energy can feel overly sensitive, codependent, or avoidant. Watch for passive communication or fear of conflict. Be honest. Be present. Don't hide from how you feel. Finances may not surge, but they stabilize. The 2 year is less about earning and more about managing. Upright, think the Two of Pentacles. Balance, priorities, thoughtful decisions. Reversed, it may warn of procrastination or imbalance. Keep your money organized and avoid big risks. Think long game. And in health, the 2 year often brings a call for rest. After the fiery pace of the 1 year, your body and mind need stillness. Focus on inner peace, nervous system regulation, and emotional well-being. Upright, this is nourishing energy. Reversed, you may feel drained or overly sensitive to stress. Don't push. Let softness become strength. The 2 year isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention, but it will shape you more deeply than you think. It teaches patience, intuition, timing, and trust. So as you shift from the momentum of year 1 into the still waters of year 2, ask yourself, can I slow down enough to listen? Because in this next chapter, your power lies not in what you do, but in what you feel, notice, and allow. The 2 year is a whisper, a time to pause, reflect, listen. A year ruled by sensitivity, emotional truth, and intuitive alignment. It's the energy of the High Priestess card upright. Deep knowing, stillness, patience. You may have needed to lean into support systems, nurture your inner world, or tend to close relationships. But if it felt challenging, you're not alone. Reverse, the 2-year can be foggy and isolating, like the Two of Swords card, stuck in limbo, unsure which way to go, or the High Priestess reversed, overwhelmed by emotion or out of touch with your own instincts. Now the energy begins to lift. The 3-year is like colour returning after a muted season. It's a breath of air after deep water. The personal 3-year invites expression, joy and creativity. Think the Empress card upright, fertile, vibrant, full of life. It's about finding your voice again and using it to connect, create and celebrate. In career, this is a year for visibility. If you've been working quietly behind the scenes, the 3-year encourages you to speak up, show your skills, and share your ideas. It's a fantastic time for networking, marketing, or launching something artistic. Upright, this is the 3 of Wands. Optimism, growth, new horizons. Reversed, though, can bring distraction or scattered focus. The 3-year can be all sparkle, no structure. Choose where you want to shine, and don't try to be everywhere at once. In relationships, the 3-year adds warmth and charm. It brings lightness after the emotional heaviness of year 2. Upright, it's like the 3 of Cups. Connection, celebration, new social energy. Friendships may flourish, and romantic relationships can grow more playful and expressive. But reversed, this energy can become superficial or avoidant. Lots of talking, not enough depth. Don't mistake attention for intimacy. Stay honest with yourself and others. Finances may fluctuate a bit. The 3-year is generous, sometimes to a fault. You might feel tempted to spend on travel, beauty, fun, and that's part of the lesson. Learning to enjoy life without sabotaging long-term goals. Upright, this energy is abundant. Reversed, it can lean into escapism. Keep one foot on the ground while you play. Health-wise, the 3-year wants movement and vitality. Dance, music, expression, anything that lets your energy flow. Upright, it's invigorating. Reversed, you may feel burned out or anxious if you suppress your feelings. Let your body speak. Creative outlets aren't luxuries this year, they're necessary medicine. The 3-year is not a time to hide. It's a time to explore, express and reconnect with joy. But the joy has to come from truth, not performance. You're not here to impress. You're here to be fully yourself. So as you step out of the quiet of year 2 and into the colour of year 3, ask yourself, what have I been holding back? Because this is your season to speak, share and shine. Not with noise, but with soul. The personal 3-year is like a summer breeze, social, creative, full of colour and expression. It's the Empress card blooming in full glory, or the 3 of Cups clinking glasses in celebration. You may have felt more open, playful and connected to life's lighter side. If it was upright, this year brought inspiration, fresh friendships, or a renewed voice. You might have written, spoken, danced, travelled, or found the courage to express who you are. But if the energy reversed, it may have felt scattered, like the 3 of Wands reversed, ideas with no anchor, or the Empress reversed, stuck in comparison or self-doubt. There might have been too much talking, not enough direction, a whirlwind of energy without something solid to hold. Now comes the shift. The personal 4-year arrives like the Emperor card stepping into the room, structured, grounded, and ready to get things in order. This is where you slow down, map things out, and lay real foundations. The 4-year is about effort, consistency, and building something sustainable. Where the 3 asked you to speak, the 4 asks you to commit. In career, expect a shift from ideas to implementation. If last year was about vision, this one is about the work. Upright, this is the 4 of Pentacles card. Stabilizing finances, setting boundaries, protecting your progress. Or the Emperor card, taking ownership, leading with purpose, setting long-term goals. Reversed, though, this energy can feel heavy. You might experience blocks, delays, or frustration if you resist structure. The Emperor reversed can be rigid, controlling, or overwhelmed by pressure. The key is to build smart, not force things. In relationships, the 4-year invites steady growth. It's less about flirtation or fun, and more about commitment, reliability, and emotional safety. Upright, this is the 4 of Wands card. Foundations for lasting connection. Reversed, there could be resistance to responsibility or issues around control. Ask, are your connections stable and honest, or built on shaky ground? Finances are centre stage in a 4-year. It's time to budget, plan, and be practical. This isn't about fast gains, it's about long-term security. Upright, you may find success through discipline and strategy. Reversed, you might feel stuck in scarcity or overwork. Don't just chase money, build something meaningful and sustainable. For health, the 4-year calls for routine. Upright, it's about structure that supports you. Regular sleep, nourishing meals, physical strength. Think the 4 of Swords card. Rest with intention. Reversed, you may ignore what your body needs or push too hard. Burnout is real if you don't pace yourself. The 4-year doesn't glitter, but it grounds. It takes all the creativity and emotion of the past few years and gives it form. So as you move from the colourful chaos of the 3-year into the structured stillness of the 4, ask yourself, what do I actually want to build? Because this isn't about chasing more. It's about creating something solid, something that lasts. The personal 4-year is a builder's year. Steady, practical, often slow. It's the Emperor card upright. Structure, foundation, discipline. You may have been called to commit to something long-term, a job, a plan, a mindset. It's a year of tightening bolts and laying bricks. If the energy was upright, the 4-year helped you create order. You may have found your footing, created routines, or faced the work of becoming more responsible. But reversed, this year can feel like a grind, like the 4 of Pentacles reversed, clinging too tightly, feeling boxed in, or the Emperor reversed, overly rigid, ruled by rules rather than reason. If you felt stuck, frustrated, or weighed down, you're not imagining it. Now, the ground starts to move. The personal 5-year is the turning point, the great shake-up. It arrives like the Wheel of Fortune card. Sudden shifts, unexpected opportunities, and the need to adapt fast. Where the 4-year asked for stability, the 5 asks for freedom. This is not a year to sit still. In career, change is on the cards. You may switch paths, receive a surprise offer, or suddenly feel that what once fit now feels restrictive. Upright, the 5-year brings momentum. Think the Knight of Swords card, swift action and bold moves. Reversed, though, it can create restlessness or burnout. You may jump from thing to thing without follow-through. Keep your focus flexible, not frantic. In relationships, energy shifts dramatically. Where the 4-year focused on grounding, the 5 stirs the pot. New connections might come in quickly, exciting, magnetic, but not always lasting. Upright, this is the Lover's card. Realignment and choices. Reversed, it's the 5 of Cups. Regret or emotional impulsiveness. Move with awareness, especially when it comes to passion or commitment. Ask, is this real connection or just the thrill of change? Finances could rise and fall like waves. A 5-year brings fluctuation. Income may be inconsistent, expenses unexpected. Upright, this is a great time for calculated risks or shifting how you earn. Reversed, it's the 5 of Pentacles card. Financial instability or fear-based decisions. Build flexibility into your plans. Don't lock yourself in. In health, the 5-year calls for movement. Get out of ruts. Try new things. Physical activity and mental stimulation are key. Upright, this energy is invigorating. You may feel more alive than you have in years. But reversed, it's easy to overextend. Watch for burnout, sleep disruption, or reckless habits. The Devil card reversed may appear if you're trying to escape discomfort through unhealthy coping. The 5-year is unpredictable, and that's the point. It tests how well you can flow with life's changes. The 4-year built the walls. The 5-year opens the windows. So as you leave behind the structure of year 4, ask yourself, what part of me is ready to move, shift, or break free? Because this year isn't about control, it's about curiosity. The world will move quickly. Your job is to stay centered in the swirl. And when the wind picks up, don't resist it. Dance with it. The personal 5-year is the wild card of the cycle. Change, freedom, exploration, all swirling through like a storm. It's the Wheel of Fortune card in motion, or the Knight of Swords charging ahead. No time to look back. You may have felt pulled in many directions. Restless, energized, uncertain. Upright, this energy brings adventure. You may have travelled, made big decisions, or broken free from something limiting. Reversed, though, the 5-year can be chaotic, like the Devil card, chasing thrill over truth, or the 5 of Swords card, running into conflict through impulsive action. Now the energy steadies. The personal 6-year brings you back to center. It's the Lover's card standing in stillness, aligned, connected, choosing with heart. This is a year of responsibility, commitment, healing, and love. After the movement of the 5-year, the 6 asks, what truly matters? And are you showing up for it? In career, the 6-year is less about leaps and more about refinement. You may stabilize a role, deepen your purpose, or focus on meaningful contribution. Upright, this is the 6 of Pentacles, balance between giving and receiving, teamwork, service. Reversed, it could bring overwork, people-pleasing, or imbalanced dynamics. Be mindful not to take on more than your fair share. Don't sacrifice your own needs to keep the peace. In relationships, the 6-year is one of the most powerful. It brings heart-centered connection, family matters, long-term commitments. Upright, it's like the 10 of Cups. Harmony, unity, love built on trust. If love has been missing, it may arrive. If it's been strained, healing is possible. Reversed, though, the 6-year can expose dysfunction. The Lovers reversed shows misalignment or choices that come from fear, not truth. This is a year for honest conversations, not avoidance. Finances ask for stability and responsibility. Upright, the 6-year supports wise money management, home investments, or shared financial planning. Think the 6 of Pentacles again, generosity and balance. Reversed, this energy may bring financial strain tied to emotional obligations. Be careful not to give more than you can sustain. Money tied to guilt or rescue can drain you fast. Health-wise, the 6-year focuses on holistic well-being, physical, emotional, relational. Upright is a time to create balance, rest, nourishment, connection. You may feel called to nurture yourself the way you nurture others. Reversed, though, the 6 can bring burnout or resentment from neglecting your own care. The 4 of Swords reversed warns you not to push through emotional exhaustion. Your health is a reflection of your boundaries. The 6th-year isn't loud or showy. It's meaningful. It invites you to root into your values and show up with heart. Not to escape, but to engage. Not to impress, but to love. So as you leave behind the change and chaos of year 5, ask yourself, what and who is truly worth showing up for? Because this year is about devotion, not distraction. And the more love you give with integrity, the more peace you'll find. The personal 6-year is the year of devotion, to love, to family, to service, to what and who matters most. It's the Lovers upright, connection, harmony, and sacred responsibility. You may have spent the last year tending to relationships, making choices from the heart, or creating more balance in your world. If it was upright, there may have been a deeper sense of purpose, time spent building or repairing trust, supporting others or recommitting to your path. But reversed, this energy can lead to overwhelm. Like the 6 of Pentacles reversed, giving too much, overextending, or losing yourself in other people's needs. Now the energy shifts. The personal 7-year pulls you inward. It's quiet, reflective, spiritual. Like the Hermit card upright, lantern in hand, retreating from the noise to hear your own voice more clearly. This is a year for soul-searching, not socializing. You may feel drawn to solitude, study, or a slower pace. You might not fully understand it at first, especially after the heart-led busyness of the 6-year. But something within is calling, and the 7-year asks you to listen. In career, don't be surprised if your ambitions shift. This isn't the year to push hard or chase results. It's a time to assess what really aligns with your values. Upright, this is the 7 of Pentacles. Patience, review, long-term thinking. Reversed, you may feel stagnant or disillusioned. Don't mistake stillness for failure. This is a year of internal progress, not external performance. In relationships, the 7-year can feel distant, but it's not about disconnecting, it's about depth. Upright, it may bring soulful bonds, spiritual connections, or needed space to reflect. But reversed, it can trigger loneliness, withdrawal, or avoidance. Like the Hermit reversed, you might retreat too far, building walls instead of healthy boundaries. Be honest with loved ones about your need for space, but don't disappear completely. Finances in a 7-year tend to reflect inner values. This isn't a year for huge risks or flashy gains. It's a time to realign your resources with your deeper purpose. Upright, this energy supports slow, mindful growth. Reversed, the 7 of Swords may warn of secrecy, confusion, or escapism around money. Stay grounded in truth, even if that truth is uncomfortable. Health-wise, this is a deeply introspective year. Your body may ask for more rest, more care, more stillness. Upright, it's a time to explore mental and spiritual well-being, therapy, journaling, healing practices. Reversed, and there may be anxiety, fatigue, or emotional heaviness. The Four of Swords becomes essential. Give yourself permission to pause. The 7-year is not here to entertain you. It's here to awaken you. So as you move from the loving outward energy of year 6 into the quiet terrain of year 7, ask yourself, what truth am I ready to face? Because this year isn't about answers. It's about asking better questions. And in that stillness, you'll hear exactly what your soul's been waiting to say. The personal 7-year is the soul's retreat. It's quiet, deep, and often misunderstood. A time to strip things back and search inward. Like the hermit upright, it leads you to your own lantern, not to seek answers from the world, but from yourself. This past year may have asked you to slow down, to pause, to step away from distraction and tend to your inner life. If the energy was upright, you likely found insight, clarity, or spiritual depth. But reversed, the 7-year can feel lonely, stuck, or full of doubt, like the 7 of Cups reversed, unsure what's real and what's illusion. Now the introspection ends. The personal 8-year begins, and the energy surges back into the material world, where 7 turned inward, 8 turns outward. It's the number of power, mastery, and manifestation. This is the Strength card in its purest form, not just endurance, but influence. It's also the Magician card, now fully aware of their tools, stepping forward with purpose. In career, the 8-year brings ambition. This is the year to level up, take control, and lead. Promotions, business growth, authority. It all becomes possible when aligned with what you learned in year 7. Upright, it's like the 8 of Pentacles card. Skill, dedication, and effort paying off. Reversed though, the 8-year can tip into burnout or obsession. Watch for the Devil card energy. Chasing status at the expense of your soul. In relationships, this year isn't necessarily soft, but it is clarifying. You'll want honesty, strength, and equal exchange. Upright, the Strength card shows loyalty, mutual respect, and mature connection. But reversed, this can be a year of power struggles or dominance games. Don't suppress your needs, and don't overpower others in return. Stay grounded in integrity. Finances are front and centre in a personal 8-year. It's one of the best years to build wealth, make serious investments, or pay off long-standing debts. Upright, the King of Pentacles energy brings security and growth. Reversed, be cautious of greed, overspending, or tying your self-worth to your bank account. This year wants you to become empowered, not enslaved, by money. Health-wise, the 8-year supports strength and stamina. Upright, this is a year to commit to long-term wellness, exercise routines, physical resilience, mind-body discipline. Reversed stress or overwork may take a toll, especially if balance is lost. The 4 of Swords might appear as a gentle warning. Rest is still sacred, even in a high-energy year. The 8th year is where you test what you're truly made of. It brings challenge, but also the reward. If the 7-year asked, "Who am I?" the 8 asks, "What will I do with that knowing?" So as you rise from the stillness of year 7 into the drive of year 8, ask yourself, am I ready to own my power? Because this isn't the year to hide. It's the year to build, to lead, and to rise, with courage, with clarity, and with everything you've learned lighting the way. The personal 8-year is where power is claimed, a year of effort, focus, ambition, like the Magician card, fully in command, or the Strength card, steady in resolve. You may have leveled up in career, taken control of your finances, or made bold, lasting moves. Upright, the 8th year empowers. You become aware of your ability to shape your world. Finances, success, leadership, all get a spotlight. But reversed, it can be draining. Like the Devil or the 8 of Pentacles reversed, you may have overworked, chased recognition, or felt trapped in the grind. Now, the tide turns, the personal 9-year arrives, and with it, the final chapter of this cycle. It's a year of endings, completion, emotional release. This is the Death card upright, not a tragedy, but a transformation. The 9th year is not here to take from you, but to clear the way. If the 8th year was the harvest, the 9th year is the moment you decide what to carry forward and what to leave behind. In career, you may feel something winding down, a a role, a project, a chapter that once drove. You may start to lose its spark. Upright, this is the Ten of Wands, the weight of past responsibilities and the readiness to release. Reversed, you might resist the change. You may cling to a title, a dream, or an identity that no longer fits. Trust the release. It's not failure, it's freedom. In relationships, the 9-year is powerful. It's a time for healing, forgiveness, and emotional closure. Some connections may come to an end. Others may deepen through truth and vulnerability. Upright, this is the Six of Cups. Tender reflection, emotional wisdom. Reverse, the Five of Cups may appear. Grief, regret, or the challenge of letting go. Honour your heart, but don't drown in the past. Let it teach you, not define you. Finances in a 9-year aren't about building. They're about wrapping things up. Debts can be settled, donations made, financial chapters closed. Upright, you may feel called to give generously or align money with purpose. Reversed, watch for scarcity thinking or fear of loss. This isn't about lack, it's about release and realignment. Health-wise, the 9-year calls for emotional integration. The body may ask for rest, healing, or attention to unresolved tension. Upright, this is the Star card, a year for recovery, renewal, and peace. Reversed, you may carry emotional weight in your body. Don't ignore signs of stress or burnout. Let stillness become part of your medicine. The 9th year marks a spiritual shedding. It's the compost phase, rich, deep, and sometimes messy. But without it, nothing new can grow. So as you step out of the determined force of the 8-year, ask yourself, what has served its purpose? What am I ready to release with love? Because the 9th year isn't about starting over. It's about ending well, so that when the next cycle calls, you're free to answer.